Bonnie.
Hello, Emma. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Oh my God, I love that sweatshirt. It looks so cozy.
Thank you.
That's fabulous. Oh my God. So you are in Prague, is that correct?
Yes, I'm in Prague.
Is it freezing cold or what's it like there?
It's today was warmer than normal, but it has been very cold.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cold.
Hence the cozy sweatshirt.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking to you from Toronto, Canada, so I can relate. You know, I got lots of cozy sweatshirts too. And I'm really excited to talk to you because you know what? Your performance in this film blew me away. You were so good in this movie, honestly. And I look, you get the script, you're in almost pretty much every scene. It's a pretty heavy duty, daunting role, you know, Alex. Tell me about your initial reaction when you got it and how you thought you were going to tackle this young lady.
You know what? It happened so fast. I didn't even have like time to think about it. I think I auditioned sort of at the tail end, like they've been seeing people and it was getting close to starting. So I had like 24 hours to read the script and send in a tape.
Right.
And I got it at night. I was like super tired and I remember like reading it and then like being up until like 4 a.m. just like in my room, like I think I know her. Like I think this is, you read something and you're like, yeah, this is kind of I think I could do it. And then I had like a FaceTime with Ben, the director, a few days later. He gave me some notes and then I resent tapes and then yeah, it was very quick.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. And you said that you thought that you knew her, and you know, she's a tough role to play, I would think, just because there's so much going on with this young girl. She, in the beginning of the film, we see she's a bit neglected by her parents. Not, we find out things later. I don't want to give anything away in this film, but she just feels like she needs more attention and she tries to get that from her teacher. That doesn't work out so well, thank God, but it's interesting because psychologically, she's a teenager that's going through a lot of crap, so how do you say that you felt that you knew her? Did you know anybody like her?
I think it was more in like the dialogue, if I'm honest. She's Ben described her as kind of a writer. Like she's like a lot of times when she says things, it's like it's clear that she's like thought about sort of the artistry of the sentence a little bit. Right. And that I liked. There was a bluntness to her that I don't have naturally, I don't think, but I think when I'm given the permission, it's easy and exciting. So yeah, I think it's a combination of those things.
Yeah. Did you, you said you didn't have a lot of time, like you really kind of jumped into it. I'm guessing you didn't really do any research into what this young girl goes through, or was it just more what was on the page and how you felt to play her?
I have a family member who's adopted and so there's some parallels there and like I know secondhand kind of sort of a parallel psychological experience.
Right.
That I think was helpful. Sorry, what was the question?
No, just about jumping in and getting to know her, if it was more just off the page and how you felt to play her as opposed to doing any kind of research on girls like this or people.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Like a family member I have and like years of knowing this person and sort of how that can affect you psychologically and take a toll and questions of where you come from and things like that. I knew that quite, I think, fairly deeply. Yeah, that was probably the best sort of lifetime of knowing someone that's something similar has sort of happened to.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And then you get to work with such great people in this movie. Let's just start with Devon Sawa, because he's Canadian. Yay, we love Devon. But he's such a veteran, but he does all these horror films and things like that. But I just from meeting him, and I've interviewed him before, and I know he's a pretty intense dude. and he plays a pretty intense role. But how did that work? Because obviously in the beginning it's standoffish, and then you guys kind of grow to know each other. What was it like to work with him and developing that relationship?
It was super similar, I think. Yeah, I think the set relationship like paralleled the on-screen relationship. Um, we did a few rehearsals because we had a couple days before we started shooting, like at the hotel. And yeah, we were both a little, it's like when you're getting to know someone, a
Sure.
little cold and detached. But then by the end of it, we were like teasing each other.
Yeah, it's good because you could see the progression obviously on film, of what we're watching with this relationship. And it's nice to see like it grew that way too, you can feel that. And then Yardley Smith, I mean, my goodness, look, we all know her as Lisa Simpson, for God's sake. She doesn't do a lot of on camera. She picks those very carefully, but it was nice to see this role, her doing this role. And I like the relationship that Alex has with her. Tell me about working with her.
Yeah, she's lovely. I love Yardley. She's like an aunt on set. There's like a calmness to her. I mean, she's been doing this for so long, so there's I like to be like being in her orbit, kind of when like on and off set.
Yeah.
She's also, yeah. There's a practicality to her. She's great for advice. I mean, I even after we wrapped during like we finished like right before the pandemic started, like
Yeah.
wrapped, and then things started shutting down, and Yardley was one of the people I was calling the most during that time. So yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to talk to her the other day. I love her. She's so great. And one thing she said about you, she loves you. She said, you don't know how to take a compliment, and you better learn how to do that.
Yeah, Yardley. We were shooting a scene, and she gave me like a super nice compliment, and then I was crap the next take. I was awful.
It's funny. Well, you better learn how, because you're going to get a lot of compliments coming up. I have to tell you that. And then lastly, just with Alyssa Milano, and what I find interesting with her, I mean, she's also lovely. Like you couldn't have had better scene partners in this whole film. But with her, I mean, she started as a young kid actor, a little younger than you, I think, when she started. Did you guys ever talk about that and how, she kind of worked through that because she stays so grounded through her life?
You know what? Honestly, I didn't get a chance to really talk to her about that, but I really enjoyed my time with her. She came at the very end of the shoot, which is also perfect because Devin and I were like best buddies, and by the time she showed up, I was like, "Oh, you're trying to be my mom?" Like, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I had a lovely time with her. We didn't get to really talk about her early career when we were working. But she talks about her kids a lot. She loves her kids, and I witnessed sort of like what it's like to be a working mom when I was on set. Like I'd see her FaceTiming her kids. It was like very educational in that sense. Sort of like how do you maintain a career when you're married and you have a family and you go away and shoot something. That was the most enlightening thing, I think.
Yeah, so cool. Okay, look, I know I can't really ask you about Lord of the Rings and all that, and I'm not going to go there, but I do have to mention it because just a few weeks ago, the Amazon released the name of the show, and everybody went mental for that. I just want to know, for you as a young actress, to be able to have this opportunity to be in something as grand as this, as important as it's going to be, how do you feel? How is life changing for you?
It hasn't quite changed yet. I think in September, who knows? I still I think am enjoying life as it's always been. Yeah, I mean it's nerve-wracking and exciting. I definitely like come from indie low budget things, and this is the opposite of that. So yeah, I've been very excited for it to come out in September.
Did you have to bone up on Lord of the Rings? Like, were you a fan of the original films, or was this fresh.
I wasn't allowed to watch them when I was a kid because they were a little violent.
Yeah.
I didn't, and it's sort of like I missed the boat by then. I think I was like more of a Harry Potter generation. And then yeah, and then when the job was on the table, yeah, I bet I watched every single one of them and read parts of the Silmarillion, and yeah, it's been fun to like learn about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool world, that is for sure. Well, I can't wait to see that. And I know it's a little bit down the road this year, but it's very exciting for you. And I just again want to congratulate you on your role in this film. I really like, you are one amazing talent. So you really need to take Yardley's advice and start taking compliments, my dear, because you're going to be getting a lot of them. I have to tell you that.
Thank you.
You're so well. See, you said thank you. That's good. That's all you have to do. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your time today, Emma. Take care. Stay nice and warm in Prague. And hopefully we'll get to meet you in person sometime. You'll come to Canada and visit me in Toronto, okay?
Yeah, fabulous.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.